everyone. Myself, Professor Khyati Gupta. Here we will discuss factors modifying drug action, right? Response of drug will be varied to person and also in the same person on different occasions, right? Individuals differ in pharmacokinetic handling of drugs, like varying plasma or target site concentration, right? For example, if any drug target size is any enzyme, right? So, in two individuals, if you administer the same drug or same dose, right? If one person has the more number of that enzyme that is inhibited by that particular drug, right? It will show you more response, right? And the second individual who has less number of that type of enzyme, right? It will show you the less action or less response of that drug, right? Next is variation in number or state of receptors, coupling proteins or other components of response effectuation, right? It is the same as we talk, right? Variation in hormonal or neurogenic tone or concentration, like atropine, propranolol, or captopril, right? For example, atropine will act on adrenaline and noradrenaline, right? So, if the concentration of adrenaline and noradrenaline will differ in a particular patient, right? For example, uh, in some condition, our release or concentration of adrenaline will be higher, right? And in other condition, it will be lower. So, in one individual also, the drug action will differ on different occasions. Okay. Now, categories of factors that will modify the drug action will be genetic and non-genetic, okay, including environmental, circumstantial, and personal variables. Factors that modify drug action will be quantitatively and qualitatively, right? Quantitatively, it will increase or decrease the action of the drug, and qualitatively, it will alter the response, right? Allergic reaction or idiosyncrasy, you can say, okay. Now, first factor that will modify the drug action, right, is the body size. Influences the concentration of drug attained at the site of action. Obese or lean or children patient. Your body weight and body surface area will impact on your drug action. For example, uh, if any person has uh, less weight, right, then individual's dose will be count on that basis, okay. For example, individual dose is equal to body weight into average adult dose divided by 70, okay. So if you want to give a paracetamol tablet to any patient, right, his body weight is 40 kg, then you have to calculate that 40 kg divided by 70 into average adult dose is 500 mg, right. So this will be the uh, individual's dose, okay. Then on basis of body surface area also you can calculate the dose, right. So body surface area further can be calculated by Du Bois formula, which is body weight uh, 0.425 is the power and height in centimeter on the power of 0.725 into 0.007184. Okay, so body surface area can be calculated by this formula. Next factor is age. We all know that the age impact on the individual's dose, right. For example, in a pediatric patient, the dose should be less than average dose, and in geriatric patient also the dose should be less from the average dose, okay, adult dose, okay. So on the basis of Young formula, we can calculate child's dose is equal to age divided by age plus 12 into adult dose, and from Dilling's formula, age divided by 20 into adult dose, okay. For example, if we want to give paracetamol tablet to any 8-year child, right, then we can calculate it by 8 by 8 plus 2 is, it is 20, right, into 500 mg, which is 200 mg dose. Okay. Infants and children are not small adults, but psychological differences are there, right? Low GFR and tubular transport will be there. Therefore, gentamicin and penicillin like uh, drugs should be differ in the dose. Okay. They have low hepatic drug metabolizing system in newborns, right? Therefore, gray baby syndrome can occur. Okay, if we administer any adult dose. Okay. Blood brain barrier is more permeable, right? So the drugs that cross blood brain barrier, if we administer in the children, connector is can be occur as adverse drug reaction, right? Absorption of drugs altered, therefore lower gastric acidity and slow intestinal transmission is there. Okay, faster transdermal absorption and faster rectal absorption will be there. Therefore, if we cannot administer diazepam in large doses. Okay, this way age impact on the drug action. Okay. Next is sex. Females have smaller body size, so required doses are lower. Okay, digoxin in maintenance therapy of heart failure, its mortality is higher in the females, right? Beta blockers, methyl dopa, diuretics like drugs will cause sexual function interference in males, right? Gynecomastia will produced by metoclopramide, chlorpromazine, ketoconazole, etc. Therefore, we should I have caution to administer this type of drug in female patients, and in pregnancy, particularly third trimester is very sensitive in females, right? Therefore, we should have a caution for administrating any type of drug in the pregnancy of females, right? Next is species and race. Species variation in drugs response do exist. Some strains of rabbits resistant to atropine, rat in mice are resistant to digitalis. Racial differences have been observed. Blanks require higher doses of atropine and ephedrine, while Mongols require lower doses. Africans will have a less effect of blockers and asthma in Japan, but not among Indians, right? So various species will have various reactions amongst different drugs, right? So if we want to do any experiment on digitalis, we should not use rat and mice because they are resistant to digitalis, right? uh, if we want to do any experiment of atropine, we should not use rabbits because they are resistant to atropine, right? So species and race are affected, right, by drug action. Next is genetics. Determinants of drug responses: transporter, enzymes, ion channels, receptors, and couplers. Controlled genetically, right? Individual variation of response will be there. Okay. So, genetics have an impact on drug action, right? Pharmacogenetics: use of genetic information to guide the choice of drug and dose on an individual basis to identify individuals who are either more likely or less likely respond to a drug, right? So far, genetic abnormalities have been identified. Personalized medicine goal yet to achieve. G6PD deficiency, uh, like in primaquine, chloroquine, quinine, dapsone, aspirin. Malignant hypothermia with halothane, etc. Low variants of cytochrome P2C9, like warfarin, will cause bleeding in this type of patient. Isoniazid acetylators, right? So genetic deficiency, if it is there, right, then some drugs cannot be chosen. Okay, for example, the patients who have G6PD deficiency, primaquine, chloroquine, quinine, aspirin like drugs should not be administered, right? Next is route of administration. Route determines the speed and intensity of drug response. Like a parenteral route will give you rapid action. Okay, a drug may have different action via different routes, like magnesium sulfate. Okay, magnesium sulfate has uh, different action on oral route and has different action on rectal route also. Okay, next is environmental factors. Drug metabolism may get induced exposure to insecticides, carcinogens, tobacco smoke, and charcoal broiled meats, etc. Okay, uh, if the drug we have administered and the environment is exposure to insecticide, right, then this insecticide will inhibit or induce the drug metabolism. Okay, food also will interfere absorption of some drugs while enhances some drugs, right, like ampicillin gets reduced and griseofulvin gets enhanced in presence of food. Okay, hypnotics taken at night, right, so these environmental factors will also have effect on drug action. Okay, next is psychological factors. Efficacy of drug can be affected by patients' beliefs, attitudes, and expectation, particularly CNS drugs, more GI nerves, and anxious patients, alcohol, and performance. Okay, for example, geriatric patient have a belief, right, that if they will take any particular colored drug, they will be good. Okay, so this type of belief can modify their psychological or physiological condition, right, so we sometimes use a placebo to treat the geriatric patients, right, or the patients that have this type of beliefs, right. Placebo, that is an inert substance which is given in the garb of medicine, works by psychodynamic effects, not pharmacodynamics, because it has no any type of active pharmaceutical ingredient, right. Sometimes these response are equivalent to active drugs. um, it can use to control device in clinical trials and to treat a patient also. Okay, it will induce psychological response and therefore it will release endorphins in the brain, and that endorphins will give you a particular response. Okay, lactose tablet or capsules or water injection, etc., are a example of placebo. Okay, disease can influence disposition. GIT disease, liver disease, kidney disease, congestive heart failure, and thyroid. Okay, if any patient has liver disease, then the particular drug cannot be metabolized, right, and the disease condition may be worsened. Okay, GIT includes celiac disease, right, amoxicillin and absorption decreased, while cephalexin and cotrimazole absorption will be increased, right. So GIT and liver diseases can impact on uh, drug action. Okay, kidney disease, if any patient has a kidney disease, right, it cannot excrete the administered drug 100%, and therefore there will be accumulation of that drug into that patient's body, and it will harm to that patient's physiological or psychological condition. Okay, next is presence of other drugs. If two drugs are administered into the particular patient's body, the drug interactions may occur, and the effect of the drug, it can be increased or decreased. Okay, cumulation, if rate of administration is greater than the rate of elimination, then cumulation will occur, right, and slowly eliminating drug are prone, therefore prolonged use of chloroquine is there. Okay, tolerance, requirement of higher dose of a drug to produce a given response, then refractoriness will be there. sulfonylureas in type 2 diabetes, and beta 2 agonist in bronchial asthma will have adaptive biological phenomenon, right? Tolerance may be natural or acquired, right? Species or individual inherently will less sensitive, right? For example, rabbits to atropine and blacks to beta blockers. It is natural tolerance, right? That rabbits are resistant to atropine, but acquired tolerance, if you administer any type of drug for longer duration in the particular patient, that patient will acquire resistance to that particular drug, right? So this is the tolerance. Okay, cross tolerance, it is the tolerance to pharmacologically related drugs, like for example alcoholics to barbiturates, right? Tolerance mechanism, it is pharmacokinetic or drug deposition tolerance and pharmacodynamic dynamic tolerance, right? So what is pharmacokinetic tolerance? Effective concentration of drug at the site of action is decreased due to enhancement of elimination on chronic use. Okay, for example barbiturates and carbamazepine induce their own metabolism. Okay, effective concentration of drug, if it is increased, right, uh, because of a lower enhancement of elimination, right, and vice versa is there. Okay, so it will produce a pharmacokinetic tolerance. Pharmacodynamic tolerance, lesser drug action, cells of target organs become less responsive, like morphines, barbiturates, nitrates, etc. So, downregulation or desensitization of receptors will be there. Okay. So, if any patient is continuously taking morphine, right, which is a painkiller, right, then its sensation that are the receptors that are producing pain receptors will be resistant to morphine. Okay, and therefore the effect of morphine will be less. Okay, so this is the pharmacodynamic tolerance, right? So we have learned about factors modifying the drug action. But from this video lecture, you should remember the different factors modifying drug actions. You should remember Young's formula, placebo accumulation, tolerance, cross tolerance, tachyphylaxis, drugs used in children, elderly, pregnancy, and different pathological states that we have discussed individually, right? This can be asked in your exam, right? So here we are ending the lecture. Thank you.